All right, what's up, guys? Mark Harbert here, and when I am so excited to have this amazing lady on with me, and she is so cool. And let me tell you just a little bit of a story here, real quick, before I introduce her. About 2 months ago or so, I went to an event, and I was one of the main speakers at an event here in my local area in Tampa. And I went to this event, and the MC of the event was this gal, and I was totally blown away by number one, her energy, her positive energy, how cool she was talking with her, in between the speakers and whatnot. But I was just really wanted to get to know her more, talk with her, and what I've just found out is that this lady is a total and complete rock star. And not only that, she actually in Canada was one of the ladies that you would see on the shopping channel. And she's, sell all kinds of cool things. If you go on YouTube, you can see some of her videos. But Miss Alli Mang, what's up? It's great to have you here.
What's up, Mark? Such a pleasure.
Yes.
I love it. And you just caught me post-workout. I am so thrilled to be here. But as you said, authentic and real, that's what we want. And you're getting that for sure.
Hey, awesome. Yeah. So she's hanging out in her car, and we're gonna do this interview right here. And I'm so excited to have you here, Alli. Number one, because my audience is typically online marketers, network marketers. And what I like to do is give a little bit of a different flavor. Let's mix it up a little bit. Let's get some cool perspective from people kind of outside of the niche, and just see what it takes. So before we get started, just tell me a little bit about you, so my audience can know who you are, and tell a little bit of your story, because I think you're just super cool.
Well, first of all, let me say the feeling is very mutual, Mark, and thank you very much. I loved getting to know you on stage and just everything. Talk about real. You are the real deal. So it's a pleasure to be here. My quick story, I've been an entrepreneur for almost 35 years now, which means that I've worn many, many, many hats. I owned my own sportswear company. I designed and manufactured and sold throughout Canada. It was for the sport of curling. Some people know about it because last Olympic Games, the United States won, the men's team won. But my motivation, and this is typical entrepreneur, my motivation was I was a competitive curler and I couldn't stand the clothes that were on the market. And I thought, well, can there not be good technical clothes that look great and felt great? Because you spend hours and hours in these clothes. Yeah. So it was a great company. I sold it. This was almost 20 years ago now. Wow. Well, really, I am just a baby. So, but that was certainly one of my best experiences as a young salesperson, understanding how to be specific. And, as we talk a little bit, you'll probably hear that word a lot. It's a theme of mine. Just because it's so important. It doesn't matter what business you're in. I've been an actress for many, many years.
I've seen you singing. You sing a lot too. You sang at that event we were at. That was amazing. Really, I was shocked.
Well, thank you. It's a passion of mine for sure. I don't do it much professionally anymore, but I have a foundation in honor of my sister. And it's raising money for mental health and managing mental health. It's called the LeAnn Foundation. And every 2 years we'll do a show to raise awareness and money. So I love singing. I love performing. And I think that it's added greatly to my understanding because, as a performer, you're on stage and it's all about the customers and the audience. And if you're not connecting with your audience, it doesn't matter how good you are. You're not really getting the message across.
Right.
And so as a performer, there really isn't that much difference between somebody on stage who's a comedian or a performer or, somebody doing, standing on a soapbox. You've got to connect with your audience and no matter what you're doing.
Right. I just think that's so cool. And that's amazing. I mean, you've really got some serious experience, and entrepreneurship, and it's great to hear that. Now, let me ask you this. Okay. So I mentioned the shopping channel, and the reason I think this is so cool is because growing up as a kid, I can remember watching the Home Shopping Network. And I mean, I would be literally, of course I could never buy anything because I didn't have a credit card then, but I just remember watching these shows and being enamored of the excitement on the screen. And I just
Oh, yeah.
love sales so much. But so I just remember watching this so much as a kid, and like to meet you and like hear that that's what you did. It was kind of like so cool. It's kind of nostalgic in a way. So talk about that for a minute and talk about how you started doing that. How did you get into the shopping network or the shopping channel?
Yeah. Um, uh, so it was about, I worked on the shopping channel for 10 years total. Just ended my contract just about 2 years now. I auditioned like everything else, and
Yeah.
of course, as a performer, you're so used to auditions, and just like kind of basically figuring out how to put it all together and arrive and perform when you have to.
Yeah.
And I remember that they asked me to sell a pencil.
Yeah.
And this is a standard fare, something, because within a minute, they know whether you know about the entertainment value, about, obviously, you have to have product knowledge for
Yeah.
sure, but the entertainment value is number one. And I think that that's why this particular expertise translates so well to video as you're doing,
Yeah.
because it doesn't matter how much great product knowledge and all of these wonderful things, which are mandatory, as you well know. But if you don't know how to entertain, people are
Yeah.
going to click you off very quickly,
Yeah.
and we have so many distractions. So I auditioned, and one of my keys, and I actually started making them laugh because, I talked about the pencil, and of course I got into the structure in HB, and it was 9H and whatever those little things are. And then I talked about the power of the pencil and how, you can always write your thoughts, and I just sort of got into this dreamy part, but then I went back to the structure and back to the bottom line that you could buy, for $1 you could get 5 pencils that could last forever. And then I went back out to the dreamy, and that's the thing about pitching. You want
Yeah.
to be sure that you cover a vast array in a very short span of time, because it keeps people's interest, and it
See,
grabs people because we're all different thinkers.
yeah. See, I love that. And that, when you said that, I'm starting to think of like all the times I watched the shopping channel and all these
Yeah.
things. And I'm thinking, so yeah, you tell specifics and then you take them off into this dream mindset where they're thinking about how they could be using this pencil or using this, shirt or piece of clothing and how they're going to look and feel. And
Yes.
that's really one of the things that we talk about too, even in the internet marketing world, is when you're telling people about a product, it's not about features all the time. You got to, sure,
Yeah.
people need to know features, but they really need to know the benefits to them personally and what is it going to do for them, put them in that state of helping to see that. So I think that's fascinating. And so
Well,
how did you get good at that, by the way? Seriously, was it just being a performer that took you down that road?
well, I was just going to tell you, so that was a perfect lead in. So my first job I got selling jewelry in the UK. That was my first job. And so I was selling semi-precious jewelry. I didn't actually know much about jewelry, so I got right to understanding about, the colors and the different, settings, and whether it's stainless, was it platinum, was it blah blah blah, and all the stones and garnets and this and that. And I was flown over for a week, and I was scheduled. This was a shopping channel called Ideal World. It's actually about the same size as the shopping channel in Canada. It's one of the smaller ones,
Mm,
but it is known for jewelry. So many
mm.
people tune in for it. And this particular buyer that I was representing was very well known. So here I go. I've got all of this incredible features and benefits, and I'm, very, so I come across now. Remember that even though I'm considered the expert, the host of the show is really why people are tuning in.
Yeah.
They love that host, they love this host. And the hosts themselves are experts. They know a lot, it's part of their job. So their job is to lead the guest in this, to open up and to certainly talk features and benefits, but going back to what you say, but creating the dream.
Yeah.
And you asked, how did I get good? Because I bombed.
So wait, are you saying you failed first?
I failed first miserably. I'm telling you. I was scheduled for 4 one-hour shows, which was a pretty good gig.
Yeah.
And after the first 15 minutes, we have what's called an IFB in our ears. So the
Yeah.
producer is talking to us, And then we also get to hear other stuff that's going on. So there's a lot going on that nobody sees. So, you know, if you're completely failing and they say, you're going to be yanked in 2 minutes unless your sales go up $10,000 within the next 1 minute, but you're continuing to act like everything is right. It's really fun.
I love
Anyway,
that.
I could tell right away because, of course, the screens are real time. You know,
Yeah.
people think that it's maneuvered. It isn't. It has to be just because those are the standards of the shopping channels around the world. And I knew I wasn't selling. So I
Yeah.
knew this wasn't going to last because they have to make money.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, I failed miserably. I was yanked after 15 minutes. I was supposed to get 4 1 hours. Yeah, I don't know what the average, but that was bad. I bombed. And I'll tell you what I learned. Yes, I was there to sell jewelry, but more importantly, I was there to sell fashion, beauty, connection, dreams, excitement, colors, design. That's what I was there to sell. And I missed the boat completely.
Yeah. Wow. That's a huge nugget. If you guys aren't paying attention here, that is a huge nugget because that's really what it's all about. I mean, you got to get people in that mind picture of where this could take them. I know for me, you know, when I got started in my business back in 2000, I had a guy sit in front of me and he literally, this is for a network marketing company, he's drawing it out. And the question, it wasn't really the money that got me excited. It was more or less what really got me excited. He said, if in 5 to 10 years, time and money were no obstacle for you, what would you do? And that was like permission for me to let my mind just, you know, go where I thought it would be, you know? And so that is really what it comes down to. Now, I want to talk about this because, and you were just kind of talking about it, but I remember at the event, you and I were talking and you were saying how when you would get on TV, like they knew within like what, the first 30 seconds to a minute, if it was not going to sell and you were on to the next product, right? Or something like that. Talk about that for a second.
Yeah, sure. So this is kind of an average throughout, but the largest two shopping channels, certainly in the United States, is QVC and HSN that you were referring to out of St. Petersburg. And of course, it varies a little bit, but if the average ticket is about $50, let's say, you have to be able to make $30,000 within the first 3 minutes. Right. And if you're not tracking that, they're going to start making, changes to bring on the next guy. Yeah. It is that quick. There are technical rooms. All the experts are watching. I remember one time specifically, I was selling towels. And oftentimes what I'll do with towels is I want to show, like, as much as I want to talk about blah, 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 I try to show my customers as much as possible how great it was so that they could see, not me telling them, but they could see how great it was. So with towels, absorbency is one of the big things, right? Right. Color is certainly great, but absorbency and all the rest. And I was dunking it and the spikes went up with the sales. So they kept saying, keep dunking, keep dunking. Pardon me, I've still got a cold. And so that was part of it. And so it's this cool relay race and working with a team that helps you achieve the success. Yeah. And it's one of the greatest things about it. There's this really interesting flow and everyone is linked. Everyone wants the same thing. And I think that's one of the great things about the shopping. And we're all under the gun. The camera guys are under the gun. The sound operators are under the gun. Everyone is, and we all want the same thing. These are serious professionals and there's no game playing around, but you have to have fun and entertain. Like that's the cool thing about it. Yeah.
Well, what's so cool is before we came on, I was watching one of the YouTube videos of you selling and I could tell you were having fun on those, you're just having a blast on those. And I just find it fascinating to hear the behind the scenes of something that everybody's seen at one point, but you don't really know what's really happening. And I think that's what's fascinating about it because there's a lot of things to learn here, no matter what industry you're in, no matter what niche, because a lot of these things apply. And you just got to see it on like a hyper fast scale. Like, yes. That's what is fascinating about it.
Well, it really, and Mark, that's what's always fascinated me about it. That's why I wrote my first book called Sold Out, How to Reach Your Full Potential in Sales. I know that was a plug, but I wrote it because there didn't seem to be a book that satisfied my needs, that helped people who were really good, let's say a makeup VP who knows knowledge, product knowledge like crazy, but didn't know how to translate that into an entertaining platform like in video.
Yeah.
So I wrote it to help those folks. I also wrote it for the actor or the comedian who, you know, can bob and weave and all these things and pop out really funny things, but needs to know how to close and soft close.
Yeah.
And so it was a fun thing. But what I realized was sales is sales. It's connecting to your customers.
Yeah.
And figuring out that, and the more specific you can get, the easier you're going to be to connect it. And what I often say is define your customers, inspire your customers through your own creativity and specificity. And out of that, you'll be able to execute an incredible story, an incredible pitch, an incredible close that connects to them. And, you know, and then, you know, you've built the trust. And
Yeah.
it kind of rinse and repeat continuously, because trust is really what it's all about. And I know that's how you've grown your network.
Yeah.
Trust.
Yeah.
You know, and we're always tested. You know, it's not like people are skeptical, but we're always being tested. So we have to bob and weave and realize that this moment right now is the only moment that matters.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
it will earn the next moment.
Absolutely. Guys, if you're hearing this, I mean, this is like so many nuggets. I mean, like, because that's what we do. I mean, we're internet marketers. That's what we do. We sell. And, you know, here you're listening to somebody who's sold literally millions upon millions of dollars to people and understands that it doesn't matter your mode of communication. It's human psychology is all the same. We still function, whether you're watching it on TV and you pick up the phone to order,
Yes.
or you're watching it in a video online and you go to a forum to order. It's all the same. It's just modes of communication. And I think that's where a lot of people get tripped up. Like, give me the secret, give me the little thing that's going to make it. And I mean, let's talk about that for just a second. I mean,
Yep.
and I think it's human psychology. Just understanding how people think is really what it comes down to, because again, it doesn't matter your mode of communication, Facebook, Twitter, email, you know, ads, whatever you're doing, it's all the same. It's all human psychology. I mean, and you've just learned that over time, you know?
No question about it. I don't, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't pretend to really understand people very well often the time. To be candid.
You should just get a shirt that says, I am sales.
Well, here's my thing. And I know we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But for me, I had to translate it just a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And I do think that the best professionals, and you are definitely in that, know how to translate. So if someone says something to you, whether you're watching a webinar or you're sitting in front, seminar, whatever it is, and someone says something and you know it's smart and you know it's like right on the money, but it doesn't quite hit you, you have a way of translating it so it does hit you.
Yeah.
And so my translation for this that helped me a lot was, sales is an exchange of ideas, just as we're doing today. You and I are both selling right now.
Yeah.
And I think there are people that think selling is sort of snake oil and you have to go, well, buy this and buy that, because, you know, it's not. It's an exchange of ideas.
Yeah.
And it's a genuine exchange of ideas, heart to heart. And, you know, me helping you to understand what I'm saying, and you helping me to understand what you're saying. I mean, that is the basis, in my opinion.
Yes.
And what I feel as a, sorry, go.
No, I love that. That's awesome. Yep.
Yeah. And bottom line, my job as a salesperson, and I could say that my job as a director of a play, my job as a comedian who is headlining, I could go on for every single title you could come up with. My job is to make it obvious for you to say, yes, I want more. I get it. I love this person. I love what they're saying, and I want more. So again, my job is to make it obvious for you to say yes, to be nodding.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not always buying from me and giving me your credit card, that doesn't mean that I failed. But if you keep coming back, and I know that network marketing is all about sticking with, staying with, can I continue to make my message sticky so that you will come back?
Yeah.
So it is paramount. And, when I hear people say, just try it, like, what do you have to lose? And I remember I said this in the seminar that we were with. And, I did say it with a little bit of a tongue in cheek. And a few people were offended by that. And I said, because my next chase line was, that is the laziest way to sell in the world. And that is not what the best in the world are doing.
Wow.
And that's why sales gets a bad name.
Yeah.
That's lazy.
Yeah.
Try it. No. Find a way to connect.
Oh, I
Because
love
then it engages you. Anyway, I could go on and
I
on.
know. No, please keep sharing. This is like gold. Gold. Like, because I've heard people, well, what do you got to lose? Try it.
Right.
Because I abhor the try it mentality. I just like I'm just like, if you're gonna go in, go all in, feet first, and like I don't want people to try it. Like I want them to go all in. Because it's like putting one toe. I always tell people, it's if you're gonna go swimming, like the worst thing you could do is try it. You step in 1 foot at a time, and one step at a time you go in the water. And guess what happens? And I make fun of my wife all the time because this is what she does. She's like, oh, splashing a little water up in his pool, And I say cannonball in that baby, and like get that rush of energy, and then I'm just using it as a silly example. Then 20, 30 seconds later, you're good to go, and that's going it all in, So I love that. I love that. Very cool.
Well, it's what it is. And I think if that's the one takeaway, your job is to make it obvious for them to say yes. So now what? So make up your mind how you're going to do that with this particular product, with this particular customer. And you know what? That's a great way to just kind of, oh gosh, okay. And it gives you a roadmap just from those two commands.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. And you know what? There's something that about salespeople, you go to trade shows. I know you've done many of them. I've done many of them, whether you've been a vendor or you've walked the aisles. And those people that come in with a canned pitch, that they have, and no judgment aside, because I understand the folks that want them. Well, please learn this pitch because we don't have time to teach you the instinct. So just,
Right.
So I don't judge it. I understand the process. But you pick them out instantly. And, I have gone up to a few, and they're usually young, although not always. And I'll say, hey, can the pitch. Why do you love this product? Why do you love this product? And some of them will say, actually, I haven't used it.
Right.
Okay, there you go. So let's get you to use it first. And because I don't want to buy from someone who doesn't love what they're selling.
Yeah.
And that's something. That's a huge thing because I know you love what you're doing and you 100% believe in what you're doing. That sells me more than the 10 points of difference that you can tell me about Mark Harbert. Yeah. I'm buying you, Mark. I'm not buying your products.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, I can tell you absolutely love towels. That's why you were able to sell towels, seriously, like, I just, when you said that, that time when you were selling towels, I'm like, wow, that you got to be good to do that. So I don't know that I can do that. Hey, check it out. I'm dunking, I just, that's so cool though. I think that's the coolest thing, but you're so right. I mean, it just comes back to, and, it's kind of my last question, but, it was really, and we've already kind of talked about it, but that one key to helping somebody make those sales is, there you go. It's about really, I think, just being passionate about what you do and really loving what you do. Because it's your enthusiasm about talking about what you've done that made me like, hey, Alli, let's get together. I got to talk to you more because I can tell you're passionate about what you do. And so for me, that's the kind of people I like to be around. That's the kind of people I like to learn from because it's I'm just like, this life's too short. I don't want to be bored. you know?
No question about. Well, yeah, I think we want to laugh more. As we age more, we want to be laughing more. And if I get more laugh lines, well, bram on.
Right.
I was going to tell you one thing. If your audience is interested, the other great thing about the platform, like the video that you're doing, is, and I talked earlier about it. Show them how it benefits them. Find ways to do that, whether that's a chart form or whether that's a whatever. And the most views I've ever had on any of my videos so far is how to do nurses' corners. How to make a bed.
Yeah.
So if you Google, I can't remember what I titled it, but it's something about nurses' corners, and do Alli Mang, ALLIMANG. It's about a minute long, and it's actually not a bad example of how many customers I spoke to in my 1 minute. It's kind of a fun exercise. I certainly, instinctively, I guess I do that. I'm always thinking, who am I talking to? Am I talking to grandma who's really concerned about her pricing? Am I talking to a designer who really understands Pantone colors and is maybe selling to the hotel industry? Who am I talking to? And every time I speak, I've got to think about that. And that's what I mean about specificity. Make sure that I honor, this is one of the, the greatest thread counts that's still affordable for just about anybody. And, so that you can always balance it and hit as many people as you can. So if you feel like doing that, it's fun. It's only about a minute. And if you don't know how to do nurses' corners, for goodness sakes, learn.
Go learn it, man.
You will learn it. Absolutely.
You need to make that bed, That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Well, Alli, you're amazing. I'm so grateful that we connected here a couple months ago. And hey, I'm just excited to learn from you, and I'm sure I'm going to see you here soon. I know you're about maybe 2 hours from me right now, but it just worked out better for us to hop on here. So, but I truly appreciate you. Is there any way people can follow you? Maybe just on Facebook or YouTube, or how can people get in touch with you if they want to?
Yes. Oh gosh. You know what? Yes, Facebook, certainly. I have my my public page, which is Alli Mang, ALLIMANG. I'm on Insta as well.
Yeah.
That is the Alli Mang, obviously.
Yeah, the Alli Mang. Yeah.
Obviously. My website, of course, it's allimang.com. Awesome. And I'm on LinkedIn as well. And I am going to be starting a YouTube video channel. Believe in yourself, stay in the game. It's going to be focused specifically on entrepreneurs, talking to them about how to pitch, and really this is a wonderful diving board launch of what my pitch will be about. Because I think we as entrepreneurs, we're living in such a gamble world in a lot of ways, because so many other people out there selling and doing similar things.
Absolutely.
So what makes you stand out?
Yeah.
And confidence is a big thing. So I'm going to really focus it. We're going to have a ton of fun. And Mark, this is I am launching my YouTube channel announcement on your airwaves.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So you guys have to make sure that you keep in touch with Alli. She's just amazing. And I know you're going to get a ton of value from what she shares. And well, Alli, I just appreciate you so much. And what a great time to come out here and chat.
Oh, Mark, it is my pleasure. Are you kidding me? And please, if you have any questions, send them by. You can send them through my, even if you need some to go through Mark or anything, whatever, I'm happy to answer anything because, it's a team. We're all trying to do the same thing. And that is enjoy our life, enjoy our success, and make an impact for others. That's it.
There you go. I can't end it any better way than that. Well, appreciate you guys. Make sure you check out Alli, and we'll see you all soon.